financial problems, elder law, criminal law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by THAV GROSS. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's topic is elders. How much can you afford to lose? Speaking of elders, Brian Small.
I was going to just say, you're the ancient one here. How much can you afford to lose?
Nothing.
Oh, ancient one.
Jeffrey Kirshner.
I am the grayest and the youngest one here. Nice to see you.
How much can you afford to lose?
I can't.
Patrick Samasco. You can afford to lose.
I can afford to lose a lot, but I don't want to lose a dime. Because once you get it, you never want to go backwards.
What are we even talking about here? When we use that term, how much can you afford to lose?
Usually
what's it about?
it's the retirement planning. It's your life savings, the money that you saved for your whole life. And now you're retired and people don't have pensions anymore and they have Social Security and they want to take Social Security early and they want to go live their life and travel around and they want to have all this luxury and free time, and it's based on how much is in their retirement accounts.
Let me give you a visual of something that I experienced it myself.
You in a pool, bathing suit.
Oh,
No,
God. There's a vision we don't want to see.
It's not going to be that good. But at some point in my time, and I don't know when, I went through this imaginary wall where when I was on the left side of the wall, on this side, if I had disposable extra cash and somebody said to me, do you want to invest it in this venture, or do you want to put some money here into something, what do you think about it? And I'd go, yeah, that sounds like a good deal. Let's go for it.
Let's try it.
And then all of a sudden, I went through this window, and I'm on the other side of the window now, and I look at it and say, yeah, 10, 15 years ago, if you came to me, I might have put 10 or 20 grand into that thinking it might work. But now I look at it and say, oh no. I have what I have. It's growing. I need it to grow a little bit more because I'm not ready to retire yet, but I want to get to a certain goal, and I can't take that kind of risk to upset my plan, because I have my plan, and I know if I follow it now, I'll get to where I want to go.
Right.
And so I went through this, I don't know when I went through it, but I did, going back to what you said when you were pointing at me, I did go through that wall. I don't know if you have gone through the.
Oh.
You were born on the other side of that wall.
No,
Okay.
I absolutely am desiring to make sure that I have enough money in my retirement account.
But you know what I mean?
When is it?
So I've changed my viewpoint as to risk.
When? Because when you're working, you figure, I can always replace that money.
Well, I'm working.
Right, that's my point. When you're working, but pretty soon you say, man, I don't want to work all the rest of my life. I want to start retiring, and then you realize this is the bucket you have. So when you're working in the up, and most people don't have, let's throw 20 grand into this new get-rich stream. They're putting the money in their 401ks and the retirement accounts.
I just have to say, every single time I did that,
It went down.
and that's probably why somebody says to me, that helped me get through that.
But
That's why you're doing the show today.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that, though. When you're working and you're putting into your 401k and you put in that month $1,000 and guaranteed the market's going to go down. Well, guess what? Next month you bought another $1,000 worth at a low price. So when it goes back up.
That-
you have more.
what they
It's called
mean by
dollar cost
cost averaging.
averaging. The ups and the downs don't work. As long as you don't pull out when it's down. And everybody's risk tolerance is based on how well the stock market's doing. Market's through the roof, everybody wants to be all in. The market tanks and they pull out, that's called locking in your loss. You locked in your loss because you're not going to put back in until the market's back up again, and then you're buying high, selling, right? So it's complete. When you retire or getting close to retirement, in my opinion, you need to start switching from grow to protect first, then grow it.
What do you mean by that?
Protect the principal first, then worry about growing it. The old days, you could protect the principal first and then grow it by CD interest rate. Remember, Ken, back in the good old days when CDs were 8%?
Yeah, but
5%.
mortgage rates were
not 0.8% like they are
the
now.
mortgage rates
Right,
were 13%.
right.
And then
So a
also,
client was in the other day, he goes, I'm going to put all my money at this credit union. I go, why? That's a nice credit union. Why? It's paying 4% interest. I go, no, it ain't paying 4% interest. Yes, it is. Playing
yeah, I was going to say, I haven't heard of 4% interest in years. on
But
a
the
CD.
most expensive place to put your money right now is in the bank. Because bank accounts are earning 0 and inflation's going to start going through the roof.
Yeah,
so you're
inflation's
literally
already
going
started.
back worse 3%.
So what do you recommend to somebody in that mode in terms of how should they invest their funds?
Well, you have to look at everybody, but I look at buckets, right? If you love the stock market and you're going to retire and the market goes up, great, but the market goes down, if you pull out when the market's down to live on or to buy your pool or you go on your trip, if you pull money out when the market's down, it's not there to go back up again. So it's reverse of what that
So is it a question of creating, if you want a bucket for the stock market, that bucket has to be part of the plan that says you're not going to need to touch it, and you have a different bucket that gives you the latitude for the money you need?
Yes, but not quite the way that you said it. If you have a bucket that's based on risk and the market's up and you want to go on the trip, you're going to pull out of that bucket. But if the market tanks, you have a different bucket that's protected. So you have a protected bucket and a risk-based bucket.
So
and
on
you
your
mix that.
but your protected bucket is you're accepting a lower return there because it's protected?
Not necessarily. I mean, the returns that you get are based on how you have that bucket set up. It's designed that when you have protection, it's designed that you earn less, but it's also designed that you never lose any money.
Right.
Wait, before I know we're coming up to a break, but here's the question: is there what do you tell a 25-year-old versus a 35-year-old, a 50-year-old, or a 70-year-old?
Wait, don't even try, because
No,
you're
I
not
will.
going to be able to explain that in 4 seconds. So we're going to
3,
take a break,
2,
and then when we come
1.
back, then you can answer
Right.
Brian's
Yeah.
40-second question.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
Will I outlive my money?
Medicaid is so confusing.
A will, or do I need a trust?
What if mom needs to go in a nursing home?
At Samasco Law, we have the answers to all of these questions. Our attorneys will eliminate the confusion and develop a plan that's right for you. We are dedicated to veterans benefits, assisted living, and nursing home care. Samasco Law can help prepare you for a long future. Call Samasco Law today.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP. Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled.
Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
All right, we're back. So, Brian, you asked the $64 question. Pat, what's the answer?
What, for 25-year-old, 35-year-old, 45-year-old, you're all in. Put it in, because dollar cost averaging, ups and the downs don't matter. So my daughter just became a federal employee. She had the thrift savings plan. I said, you want to put it into the most aggressive plan, but you can't pull out and put it into the G fund if the market goes down. You literally have to set it and forget it. Just keep pumping it in and pumping it. You have to pay yourself first, because you will not have a pension.
The young person's easy.
25, 35, 45.
Put it in equities and don't touch it.
As long as you're not going to pull out when it's down. People think, oh, the stock market's going back up. No, it's not going back up if you pulled it out of the stock and put it in the bank account.
Do you want to be in large cap, small cap, mid cap? Do you want to be in tech, or do you want to be in everything? Where do you go? Even in that scenario, where do you go? Just getting everything.
Yeah.
Spread it out?
No, what you can do is just put in the S&P 500 index. That outperforms all other investments.
I tend to like that as well. What was your idea?
Marry rich. That just solves a lot of problems.
Well, the key is this.
That was really quick.
Wait, I want to be the one that's rich. So they want to marry me because I'm rich, right?
So wait, the whole point though.
I was told
that as a young man.
I was told that as a young man, and I did not listen, and I was wrong.
No, for the
My wife said the same thing. I thought you were rich, Pat.
For the young person.
Yes.
The key is that they have to get involved in that retirement program immediately.
Period.
And every time, and one of the things I always tell people is, every time you get an increase in your pay, whatever your increase is, put half of it into your retirement program, because you're used to living on what you're living on.
Right.
So take that raise, that percentage, and put half that into your retirement.
Are horrible at doing that? Lawyers. They want to go out and buy the suit and the tie and the fancy car, and they don't. Do you have a pension? Is Ken
I don't even own a tie.
There you go.
Can I make one public service announcement?
Good.
We're talking about young and what to do when you're young in terms of investment. One other thing off topic is get your life insurance policies when you're super young.
Yeah.
Get your disability policies as young as possible, because it only goes up. The cost of those only goes up the older you are. So invest in those as well too. When you're as young as possible, you get dirt cheap rates
and you can
great
even
coverage.
you can even get 40-year term policies now. And I was just looking for my son and daughter because they're 22 and 25, and it was like $15 a month forever for 40 years.
Well, let's talk about both of those things, because there's a couple interesting issues that come up as you get older. If you have long-term disability policies in place, like I had them, and I was in very good health, and I knew that those policies, once you get to age 65, under those policies, if you're still working and you have a disability claim, they'll pay you 2 years, but that's it. But you're paying a premium that was designed to cover you for a risk of 10 and 20 years had you become disabled younger. So the question you run into when you're 63 and 4, do you continue paying the premium for the next 2 years or even after that to ensure a window of no greater than 2 years?
So let me answer all that
If
with
you're in
where
good
we're
health.
at.
Yeah.
You're just talking about risk. When you're young, you don't want to risk it because you have little kids, so you get life insurance. While you're working, you don't want to risk getting hurt, so you get disability insurance. Everything else you're throwing the dice at because you're working and working and working. When you go to retire, if you have a pension, you're getting a monthly check, right? That's called longevity protection. There's companies out there that are willing to insure your portfolio 100%. So if you want to protect that in retirement, you're willing to take less of an upside to guarantee 100% of the principal.
So,
just like you're willing to put less in your bank account to pay money to the insurance company. If you die, your kids are protected.
So how do you mean that? Is there actually a separate policy you can buy? So if you want them to insure you in an environment where you're investing in a greater risk environment, the premium is going to cost more?
Well, so no, it's not. It's through annuities. They're called annuities, and everybody hates the word annuity. Annuity is, there's different types of annuities, but a fixed annuity or an indexed annuity, they, number one, insure your principal 100%. So if you have 100 grand, 100 grand's always going to be there. Then the growth is tied into an index like the S&P 500. If the S&P 500 goes up, you share in the growth. If you want all the growth, you have to risk all the losses. And how much can we afford to lose?
None.
Because why? Because you need to live on it, or you're going to spend it.
Because you just want to make sure that it's there.
You want to sleep at night.
Right.
And as a Social Security expert, I can tell you that you really prefer not to have to just depend on Social Security to live month to month, because even though you pay into it, even high-rate earners,
it's not enough.
Only several $1,000s a month, and by that time, when you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s, the cost of living is so much higher, and in what you're used to is so much higher that you can't live upon that.
And that ties right into what I'm saying is, if you want to be able to make that as a major portion of your income, you have to make sure at retirement your house is owned free and clear.
Right.
You have zero debt, no car payment, nothing, so that the only cost of living is real estate taxes and your living expenses. And even then, it's tight.
Ask everyone's spouses when they're retired. Your wife, is she more worried about how much is in the bank or how much money she'll have to live on per month the rest of her life?
I'm not sure what
she's going to want. The pension. She's going to want that monthly.
I'm sorry, I'm busy right now.
Wow, you are
that's
a popular
her.
guy.
That's your wife calling. Listen to Pat.
She's got the
Make
answer.
an appointment with Pat.
She's
right
worried
now.
about both.
She wants enough money to live on, the guaranteed income for the rest of her lifetime. That's what an annuity is.
Yeah, I'll tell you what she wants.
Bullshit.
She wants a plan. She wants to know that if the TV does not work on streaming, what to plug in where to get it to work again. Because when you have like Roku or something like that and you get the power short thing, you have to know how to fix that problem. And I can fix it and she can't. We'll take a break. We'll come back after the break.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP.
You're all set to retire. You have your home paid off, money in the bank, and sound investments. But if you're not careful, all the things that you work so hard for can disappear. At Samasco Financial, we'll help you prevent that. We go beyond ordinary asset management. We'll safeguard everything that you have by creating a plan made specifically for you. How much can you afford to lose? Nothing. Protect the people that you love and the things that you have. Call Samasco Financial today.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Time for announcements. So I remind our viewers to listen to us for Law and Reality Live on the Praise Network, Tuesdays 10 o'clock a.m., Saturdays 7 a.m., and on KISS 105.9, Sundays 7 o'clock a.m. Seminars are back. Post-COVID, live seminar. Our next one is coming up Wednesday, August 18th, 6 to 7:30 p.m. at our offices, addressing financial issues post-COVID. How to address debt so that you preserve your income for your future. You don't allow your future income to go to pay your debts of the past. Current status on loan forbearance and tenant evictions will be covered. Special segment on tax debt. Learn your available solutions to solving debt problems outside of bankruptcy, as well as your solutions using bankruptcy. Attendees get a free copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Be sure and sign up, thavgross.com, lawandreality.com, or call us the old-fashioned way, 888-235-HELP. If you ever want to come in for a free consultation, and we still do them via teleconference or in office, post-COVID, pre-COVID, we'll do it any way you want to do it. The important thing is that you get the information you need. Debt issues with Brian, tax issues with Jeff Linden, estate planning issues with Brian and myself, business law issues with me, elder law issues with Pat, disability issues with Jeff, criminal law issues with Scott Weinberg. Just call us at 888-235-HELP or go on the website and sign up for a free consultation. Also, go to the website for free reports. You've got Resolving Tax Problems, The Real Solutions by myself and Jeff Linden, How to Save Your Home from Foreclosure, Business Formations, Loans and Grants for Small Businesses in Detroit, and The Retiree's Guide to Social Security from Pat Simasko. I want to thank our sponsors, THAV GROSS, Simasko Law, Kirshner Law. Now back to the show.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirshner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
COVID-19 presents a fight for our personal and business financial survival. You have to make choices. Cash is critical. Do you tap your retirement, home equity line, or run up the credit cards? You need the right plan to avoid being wiped out, and you need it now. You can't rely on the government or banks. Call us. We're the experts in financial crisis. We were here for you and your business in the Great Recession, and we're here for you now. We will create a plan and get through this together. THAV GROSS will solve your problem.
So what you were just talking about is you're in charge of fixing the TV set. But in reality, let's say the husband's in charge of the finances. He's buying the stocks and selling stocks and watching the TV and calling this guy and calling. And he does a wonderful job.
Very true.
And now he dies. You go to the wife, and the wife says, well, I want to do it the same way as him. My husband did it great. I want to do it the exact same way. I don't want to change it. Great. Are you going to watch it every day? Are you going to call the guy? Are you going to buy and sell? She goes, I don't even know how to turn on the computer. So
what does she do?
I talked to the husband. I said, you can't plan for the way you're going to do it. You got to plan for the way you think your wife should do it if you pass away. You got to be either educate her and get her part of it. You better teach your wife how to turn on the Roku, or she's going to call the pool boy to bring in and have.
I've solved it on that because I've told her who to use for the financial planning.
Right.
But I have not solved the problem for the TV.
No, but you didn't though.
Right now she's more worried about that.
No, let me go on that though. Yeah. Because your financial planner is your guy, and you love the ups and downs, and you love the buying, and you can handle it. It doesn't make you lose sleep at night. You die, and you ask your wife, how much can you afford to lose? And she goes, I can't afford to lose a dime.
You're 100% right.
That's what you have to.
I'm actually doing that. I have her going to someone that'll be conservative.
Well, why the hell isn't she going to me?
Well, because you're close to my age, and this is the plan in 25 years.
Let me tell you why.
You're going to be retired.
Let me tell you why.
You're going to be retired.
Let me tell you why. It's not the company. It's not Fidelity or Merrill Lynch or Raymond James. It's the philosophy of the advisor. If the advisor that you go to is grow, 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 when she goes to him, he's going to be recommending grow, 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 grow. They say they won't, but guess what? That's what's going to happen. If your philosophy is protect first, they're going to recommend protect first. Remember how I asked you what kind of car you drive?
Yes.
What kind of car you drive?
Lincoln.
If she goes to your Lincoln dealer, what kind of car are they going to sell her?
Lincoln.
What happens if she needs a BMW?
She's not going to get one.
She ain't going to get one. So that's the idea, is find the person that has the philosophy.
She does not need a BMW.
She may not, yeah, that's right. What if they want to sell her a BMW when actually it should be a Honda? It has to fit the philosophy of the person, not the company.
Unfortunately, if they sell them the BMW and it should be a Honda, that's where they usually become my client.
Well, let me explain why. Because you have a fiduciary duty to your clients, right? I'm a lawyer first. I have a fiduciary duty. I'm a financial advisor second, but I have to be a lawyer first. If I go to a Honda dealer, they're going to sell me a Honda every single time. If I go to BMW, they're going to sell me a BMW. Remember, if you go to the bankruptcy lawyer, they're only going to give you a bankruptcy. If you go to the
financial crisis,
they're only going to do finance. You do everything, and you have to do what fits best for them.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What time would you like to come in with your wife?
We'll be there in an hour. Point well taken, but in the planning position that I'm looking for is all of the advice that you have given, is that what she needs to do when I'm gone, assuming that I go first, is she needs a conservative environment in that situation. And right, she doesn't know anything about it, and she doesn't want to learn, so she needs to have someone that will invest things and look out for her from that perspective.
That's the point.
Yeah, and it is critically important. And the other thing that you have to realize is you do go through that. I think of it as like, in a movie where you're going through that plastic sheet, and you come out the other side, and you really don't know when you're going to go through that. I can tell you, I can see it happening with my friends and everyone. It's right around that 60 barrier.
Yeah.
When you're in your 50s, you think that you're not thinking about retirement, and then when you cross 60, it starts weighing on you more, and as you get to 65 more, 66, 67, and closer to 70, more and more.
We had 3 people on our street at the cottage, all had strokes or horrible issues when they're late 60s, early 70s. You better learn.
I definitely do not want to meet with you on that street.
You need to plan on enjoying some of your life and plan for that, because there's no old people diseases anymore. That happens at any age.
Absolutely. What were you talking about with unexpected?
It's never convenient for an inconvenience.
And on that point, have a great week. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality.